Hey guys, welcome back to Life of a Wife podcast. I'm Amanda, and today we're going to be doing a solo episode. We're going to be talking about just kind of evolving when you're in your late 20s and just life goals, and I guess just kind of how you see life differently and just all sorts of other stuff, I'm sure. So, yeah, I'm excited to chat about it with you guys, and let's get into it. Every time I say let's get into it, it reminds me of this girl on TikTok. She makes like a bunch of food. I don't remember what her name is. Um, but she just like makes really good food, and then she's like, let's get into it. Like, I don't know. And then it also reminds me of Mad Fit. But anyways, first off, as you can see, Lindsay is not with us today. If you watched the last episode, we talked about how Lindsay's due date is, I don't have my watch on me. Lindsay's due date is November 28th, 27th. But obviously she could give birth at any time. Well, it is currently November 19th. And I got a text message from her this morning. Hey, so we are heading to the hospital. We think my water broke this morning. I'm sweating profusely. LOL. I'm so scared, nervous, and excited. I'll keep you updated once we get there. So, sorry, I'm like about to cry. So crazy, so surreal. Yeah, and of course I was like, you got this, Mama. I love you so much. You're amazing and you'll do great. So, this episode will probably air when Baby Doo is already here, but sending all of our good vibes to Lindsay, like, and Dylan at this time, like, sending all the love to them. Like, I'm so beyond excited for them. And it's just funny because I already happen to be recording a solo episode today because I'm going to try to do every week as much as possible. Just because I just, I want this podcast to be more than just a hobby. Like, it is a hobby, but I want it to be, I just want to put more effort and work harder on it, and just, I think it'll be great for me individually as well as, just like spreading kindness and advice and around the world. That sounds dramatic, but you know what I mean. Anyways, so yeah, Lindsay is in labor. And like I said, it's November 19th, and it was crazy because we were going to go to the Mars Craft Show. And this, at the beginning of this week, I was like, okay, November 23rd, it's a craft show. Um, you know, we're almost there. We're almost to the home stretch, but unfortunately, she did not make it to the craft show. But I'll be going to the craft show with my family on Saturday, so hopefully I can find something cool for Baby Doo. I mean, I'll be on the freaking lookout. I'm so excited to meet him. Like, I'm gonna have a nephew, and it's like still doesn't feel real even when she texted me that she's in labor. So, I could go on and on about this, guys, but I'm just so excited, so grateful for them and my friendship with Lindsay. And I mean, that's why we started this podcast. And actually, I'm totally going on a tangent and not talking about what I have written down yet, but that's okay. Because I don't really talk to you guys individually too much. Oh my gosh, my nose is running and I don't have a tissue. This is not good. This is not good. That is horrible for the quality. Sorry for the sniffles. I don't remember where I was going. Anyways. Oh. It's crazy to think that I was only married a year, like a month ago. So, and this podcast has been Life of a Wife, and um, yeah, it's just wild. So, anyways, obviously this podcast is called Life of a Wife, but I mentioned this, I think, in another episode previously that, you know, I saw this quote in this movie, which I think about all the time, is your best marriage, or it wasn't a movie, it was like a Max Tuning YouTube video, and he was getting married, and he asked his friend, what is your best advice as, someone who's been married for like 12 years? And he said, continue to grow individually as people. So, yeah, this is called Life of a Wife, but this is like literally life of a wife. Like, yeah, I'm a wife, but like I'm an individual, and like I feel like that sounds so silly. But I don't know, like I'm sure people get lost in relationships. Not just marriage, but like regular relationships, or people get lost in motherhood, which I'm not a parent, so I have no idea what that's like, but and Mark helps me with this too, which is absolutely crazy because he probably helps me with this more than anybody. I feel like we haven't had many conversations about it recently, but it's probably just because it's like a known thing. Um, like to try your hardest to be the best version of yourself, or my God, I'm hungry. We're going to eat after this, and I haven't eaten anything this morning, and I'm like, ugh. But try your best to be the best version of yourself, like you know, and grow separately and individually. So, um, and he's just always, we've always discussed that. We've always talked about it. And yeah, so, um, I wanted this episode to be about, I was at work the other day and I was just sitting there and I started thinking about how like, I can't talk. Life is just like so crazy that I am where I am today. And I was like, I literally was like, I don't know if it's like my new hair, like my brown short hair, or I just feel like a new person, or um, like I have new coworkers that I talk to, and um, I just feel like, and like with the election, with um, my sister-in-law getting married. I feel like I talk about my sister-in-law getting married a lot. And sometimes I'm like, wonder if people think I'm crazy because I feel like I'm talking about her wedding as much as my own wedding. And when I talked about my own wedding, people apparently all at my work thought I was crazy. But it's like, girl, you're literally planning a wedding, you're getting married, and it was a lot, okay? So, mm, um, well, I remember like I freaked out because there was like a bunch of sickness at my work before my wedding and my honeymoon. Who's obviously going to freak out. I don't want to get sick before my wedding. But my sister-in-law's wedding, I talk about it all the time. I'm so excited and I'm so grateful to be her matron of honor. And it's like a big deal. And I'm just so grateful for how close I've gotten to her. And yeah, so that's a big thing. And the fact that like Mark was on the phone with his grandmother recently and said that we'll be ready to have kids in like 1 year, and he was like, oh, I just said 1 year because it was different than saying 2 or 3 years, but that's insane. So yeah, sometimes I'm just like, and I used to be like, oh my God, like this doesn't sound really weird, but I used to be like, oh my God, like I'm living in the future. Like this is what I've always dreamed of. Like I think when we were planning our wedding and stuff, And so for so long, because we got engaged, I don't remember. We were engaged for like, we took like a year and a half to plan the wedding. Like, we got engaged and we took some time to do it, which I highly recommend doing that. We got engaged of like March of something, and then didn't get married till not that October, but like the following October. So, yeah, so we had plenty of time to plan everything. And, I feel like we could ease into it the first couple months of like picking out centerpieces, picking out dresses, colors, kind of easing into it before we get hardcore into it. It still got really hectic, obviously. But so for me, and I don't know if Mark feels the same way, and I'll have to ask him because I want to have him on the next episode for us to talk about just like our relationship and, obviously stuff like this. But for me, it was like I did not see anything after the wedding. Like, I didn't, like, life existed after the wedding because it was so much like planning, 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 planning. And then it was like, okay, wedding, honeymoon. Oh, so after this, we can just like go home and like live our lives and like go to friends' houses and hang out with family. And it's like, but it was like so exciting. It was like, oh, there's life after this. Like, I don't know. Like, we were in the thick of it for like a year and a half, you know? Um, I guess same thing when we like got this house, but that doesn't even feel like that. Definitely remodeled it for a while, but that feels like so long ago at this point, which it has been almost 3 years, but since we moved into this house. But no, the wedding shit was like crazy. Because every time Mark and I were together, it was like we were planning stuff for for the wedding, and it almost like, it's funny because you're like getting married to that person, but it definitely almost like puts a toll on your relationship because you're like, you just want to hang out and spend time together, but you always have like a decision to make. We always had like an Excel spreadsheet to look at, whether it be like the guest list or like shit for the DJ or like whatever. Like, picking the songs should not have, that should be a fun decision, but why was it so complicated? Like, we had like the main songs picked, but like you have to, a song for like when you cut the cake and other stuff. It was just weird. So yeah. So now I'm on the other side of that, like over a year later, and again, I don't know if me cutting my hair and dyeing it brown gives me like a new identity, but I truly feel like it does. Also, that's a side note. I don't know if I'll ever feel me when my hair is brown. I feel me, but I feel like a new me, but I don't know. I am getting my hair done next Wednesday, and I was originally gonna go lighter, like have it be, because this was originally supposed to be like a little bit lighter, but I think it turned out a little bit darker, which like was fine, but I just felt like I didn't know if I liked this color with my face. It is fading though, but you probably can't really see, but I have a picture. It's still gonna be brunette, but I think I'm gonna do like the roots like a little bit darker, and then we're gonna throw in some like, highlights or like some blonde or whatever the heck, blonde, lighter pieces, but I don't know, because I am a brunette right now, so I might as well commit to the bit and go from there. And I also feel like it's winter time. I feel like it'll look cute, but I need some lightness in here. I need some dimension, is what I believe is what is in these photos, like some dimension. And her hair is also like pretty short in these photos, which look short, but I'm pretty sure my hair was like that short when I got it cut. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I'll feel like me or what, but so it's just really hard because I like want to go lighter, but like also the thought of like being lighter, and I'm like, I don't know if I'll be happy with that either, you know? Especially now that I'm dark, it's not like I can get back to that color, but I don't know if I want that color. Like, you look back at pictures and you're like, oh, it looks so pretty, but then sometimes it looks like dull. I have no idea. So, but, so I put on here my little trusty dusty list of things I wanted to talk about. You are evolving. So, I was like, we should look up the definition of that because, you know. Okay, you are evolving means that you are gradually developing and changing over time, becoming a more advanced or different version of yourself. Whether in terms of your thoughts, beliefs, skills, or overall perspective. Essentially, you are undergoing a process of personal growth and transformation. So, I also talked to Mark about this yesterday, and I actually just deleted my time hop yesterday because, excuse me, I just burped. I don't know if it was on the camera, on the microphone, probably not, but so I deleted my time hop yesterday, and the reason I did that is because back in like 2020, I guess we can talk about this because I wanted to touch on this a little bit. Back in 2020, I got really fit, and like, to be fair, like, I was definitely like already skinny because, like, I mean, this was like years ago, I'm sure, but it's not even about being skinny, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I was thinner. I was. Like, I think before I even started exercising. But like at the time, like, you don't, it's like you always think you're, like, you always think you're bigger or something. Like, not, I didn't think I was bigger, but like, I've always had a stomach. Like, even when I got my gallbladder out when I was 15 and I was like, I literally looked like I had an eating disorder. I was so skinny. Like, my stomach was distended, and that's probably messed up to say, but, I looked sickly skinny. My stomach was still a little bit out, which is fine. Like, seriously. So ridiculous. I've also always had stomach issues and blah blah blah. I don't know if that's anything to do with it, but like, I've always just had a little bit of a stomach, and I don't know. So 2020, my work shut down. I wasn't working at Kitty Academy because we shut down for 2 months, and I always thought to myself, I'm so active at work, which like I am, like, even now, like, you're chasing around toddlers all day, walking around. I'm always on my feet. I do sit like when I can, but like, depending on the day, like, I'm on my feet like all day long. Like, literally, like, pretty much every day. I sit with the kids when we eat lunch. I sit when we do like story time or something like that. Besides that, I'm up changing diapers. I'm walking around outside. I'm like, we're in the gym. Like, I'm, you know, constantly breaking up fights between the toddlers. I'm sorry, my nose is running and I don't want to go get a tissue. So, yeah. So, 2020, I decided to work out. I have no idea how. I wish I remember. I think someone, I don't know if somebody else told me about MadFit. I feel like somebody else might have told me, because I knew she had like the 3-minute song videos. And I remember like the Ed Sheeran one maybe was like the first one I saw. I don't know. I wish I remembered, but I stumbled upon her videos on YouTube. Maybe I just like looked it up, and like saw it. Because I remember being on like my bedroom floor and being like, I need to do something. And weirdly enough, I started falling in love with her HIIT workouts, which I fucking hate now. Like, I could never. And I remember like getting past that point of like literally feeling like when you do cardio shit, you like have that feeling in your throat. I literally had to like go spit out the mucus, like disgusting, but like, and anyways, yeah, I did that, and then I fell in love with weightlifting, so I did her weightlifting videos, and then eventually I went to the gym, and I got like super fit. Like, I had muscles, like, at one point I didn't know whose body, like, I was like, whose body is this? Like, I didn't even recognize it. It was like completely different. And so I don't know how long I was like that. Maybe like a year or two, maybe like a year and a half. And then once we bought this house, so this is where I think it went downhill. We moved out of this house into my parents' house for a couple months, and we were just really busy because we were moving from this house to my parents' house, which is like 7 minutes from here. And at the time, like, we eventually realized that Mark and I were going to buy this house and come back here. But I was living in a whole other place. And long story short, when I lived there, I ended up getting insomnia. It was like really bad. I couldn't sleep. I had a twin bed, which, like, obviously I'm thankful for a bed, but it was just not my room, not my space. Like, it just didn't feel right. I was thinking about this recently. My cat didn't sleep with me like she does now. It's like, baby, that's why I had insomnia. And like, again, this all sounds like first world problems or some shit. Like, I get it, but I was just moved out of my element, and I just remember having like anxiety. Like, I I just was completely out of my element. Like, it's different if I moved somewhere with like my own stuff and my own bed and my own like belongings, but like, and like, it was only right down the street, but like, and then at the time of me living there, we were gutting this house apart, like gutting it and like taking out the carpet and painting the doors, and like Mark made it into a smart house and like all types of stuff. So that's kind of when I fell off. Like, I remember doing workouts at my parents' house, and like I just lost like the passion for it. And yeah, that was in like 2022, and we're like going into 2025. So since then, I honestly feel like I've been up and down with exercise, and it's just been rough. It's been hard. And I remember that May, I felt so insecure. It was my 20 whatever birthday. 25th birthday. Maybe. I can't do math very well if you didn't notice. Um and it's funny cuz I remember we have like on our TV screen the pictures pop up of like past events, and Mark's like, "You look so good in that picture." And I was like, I like almost cried. I was like, I can't believe you're saying that to me. Like, that's so sweet, because I felt like I looked so fat, like so awful. My hair was also this weird brownish color. Like, it almost looked brownish red, but it's because at the time I think I dyed my hair brown, and then I think like eventually after that I went back to blonde. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. I've had so many different hair colors. And I love doing it. I had like the money pieces. It was like brown, but I had like the money pieces here and then like some blonde. Anyways, um, but yeah. So, and different again, like my hair color it didn't feel like me. So that's like one thing. And then I literally beat myself up for years for like the exercising stuff, and I'm just tired of it. So I decided to delete Time Hop, because when I see those videos and pictures of me, um, all I think is that, oh, her hair is pretty. Her hair looks better than mine right now. she's so much skinnier than I am right now. She's, and like that's one aspect of my life. Like I was super fit and I was super confident, and yeah, don't get me wrong, but my life is like so much more than that. And which I don't even like saying that because like yes it is, but also like so I went to the gym. I mean, I've still been exercising, but it's just like I said, it just hasn't over the years hasn't been consistent. It went from like 5 days a week to 4 days a week to 3 days a week to some days, some weeks it'll be 3, and then some it'll be 2, and then sometimes it's 1. You know what I mean? It's like very like inconsistent. I did find that I absolutely love Pilates. Um, Whether that'll be something like I stick to or not, I don't know because it is very expensive, but I can do drop-in classes for like $30 and I do love it. And um yeah, I love MadFit workouts, and I when I'm in the mood for it, I love going to the gym. I went to the gym Monday and I was literally on my period dying, like sweating, but like I literally went and like sweat it out almost, and it felt so good. So, yeah. Um but I put on here life goals, and um one of my things on the list was to stay active. Like I just want to stay active for like many different reasons. So, I think I put too much pressure on like how many times a week I go, which like I do think I need to be mindful of that. Like for example, I went no. I'm sorry. I don't know what day it is because it's Tuesday right now and I'm off work, so this is weird for me. I went Sunday, so today I'm going Tuesday. So, I look at my calendar and I'm like, "Okay, so you went to the gym on Sunday. Now you're going to go today Tuesday." And I would that's when it gets messy because then I'm busy this weekend. So, yeah. So, I mean, I need to go at least one more day. Should I go 2 more days? Probably, but I'm going to the Mars Craft Show all day on Friday. And then Sunday I'm like going to get margaritas with friends. So, I think it's really hard to find that balance sometimes. Um but I mean, I could go Wednesday and Friday if I was feeling it. And another thing too that I tell myself is just do something small. If I don't have to go to the gym, but like do something small in your basement. Find like a 5-10 minute video. Do some like crunches or some shit. And just grab the weights, put on some music. I don't know. So anyways, this episode was not supposed to be all about that, and I don't remember how we got into it. But it's one of my goals is just to stay active, and it not just about my appearance, but it's also about feeling good, not being out of breath when I walk up the stairs, like being able to lift the toddlers at work without being like, ugh. And when I'm a parent, I want to be strong too. Like I want to be active during my pregnancy if I'm able to. And I want to, just be active now, like, and after I have a child, I want to be able to be active and, just all the things, and you feel good. Those endorphins are fucking real, man. Like when I was at the gym the other day, I was like, this shit rocks. And although I've been a lot more inconsistent over the past couple years, like I feel like I still got it in me. which is crazy to me because I was that girl that hated gym class. I hated all that shit, but I mean, I still got it. Like, I like impress myself sometimes. Like, I'm like, you are still strong, even though you may have not lifted this amount in a while. Like, sometimes I just fucking go for it. So, love that for me. Oh my god. Okay. Sometimes I talk on these podcasts and I'm like, on these episodes, and I'm like, what am I gonna like say right in the description? Because I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so my life goals, which I don't even like saying life goals, maybe just goals that I'm thinking right now. Because they can always change. But the first one I thought of was stay at home mom. I want to be able to, an ideal situation, let me think, is being at home with my little babe. And Mark is working in the office. And I'm at home with the little babe, doing all the things. Maybe cooking, cleaning. Obviously, I don't know how, it depends on the situation, how much cooking or cleaning I could actually get done with a baby. But, and then him being able to watch the baby while I go to the gym or I go downstairs and exercise. And yeah, I mean, it sounds simple, but that's like what I want. And obviously, I still want to make time for myself, even if, even when I'm a mom. Yeah, so I wrote not being lost in motherhood, like just motherhood, which I have no idea what it's like to be a mom, so like I'm sure. But I follow a lot of like really amazing creators like Avery Woods and Chloe, what the hell is her last name? Is it like Chloe Gott? Oh my god, I have no idea how to say her last name, Chloe, so I'm so sorry. Chloe and Addison from TikTok. I'm sure if you know, you know. If you don't, then just look up Chloe and Addison on TikTok. But they're like boss ass bitches, I'm not saying that's gonna be me, like I'm gonna have my own company and like yada yada yada. It could be though. It could be. But I don't know. I really don't know. I'm like already lost in it and I'm not even a mother. So gotta figure out my own individual life plans. No, I'm just kidding. But whether that be like just making TikToks with my baby, like continuing the podcast. I put on here that I want coffee shop. I low key want to like own a coffee shop or like something like that. So, Sarah, if you're listening to this, my sister-in-law, I haven't forgot that we said we were going to open a coffee shop. So, I don't know. Yeah, staying active and yeah, I'm sure just taking time for me. And by taking time for me, I feel like that's physical activity. And I know this is not just for me, but like what fills my cup up is like hanging out with family and friends. And, when I'm a mother, I still want to be able to have individual times with friends when I can. And just all that sort of stuff that you need. And I don't know what the universe has in store for me, but I really feel like everything is slowly starting to fall into place more and more and more. And I'm so excited. And I'm only 27. I keep thinking I'm 28. And I used to always be like, girl, you don't want to be older. But like I do. because the older I get, the more established and just better and I'm feeling about the future. Not like better, but excited about the future. I feel like this is dramatic, but and I'm also excited for, like, I know the holidays are a really hectic time, but I'm excited for the holidays to be when they are over, because January, it'll be dark outside. We'll all just be like in our houses. But I get excited for that every year because we can just like be in our house and like just be locked in our house. Like, not really, but like, and I also am leaving the church nursery at the end of this year. December 29th will be my last week I work at a church nursery on Sunday mornings for like the past like 5 years. And I love it and it's been amazing, but I think it's just time for me to have my Sunday mornings back and be able to, just do whatever I would like to do with them, whether that's clean the house. I'm laughing because, like, clean the house, like, go to the gym. Like, sometimes there are Pilates classes on Sunday mornings I wouldn't be able to go to. Sleep the freak in. Just, like, live my life, And I'm so thankful for the time at the church nursery, and Linda, who I work with, and Erin, who's my boss. She is amazing, and I definitely want to go visit and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, my nose. That's gross. You guys didn't see that. But yeah. So, I don't freaking know where I was going. Okay. Yeah. I don't really have much else written down, so we're just gonna free this shit. I was gonna say free ball, but So, I guess I could just tell you my plans for the rest of the day. And this is, so I work 4/10s right now, at work. So I love having a day off. So my day off is kind of like, I feel like it's like I'm playing pretend, like I'm pretend stay-at-home wife, or I'm like a pretend stay-at-home, well, I don't have a child, but you know what I mean. Like, this is like the type of stuff I would do if I was home every day. So like, I love it. And I'm sure, I don't know, I know I say I want to be a stay-at-home mom, and I say I want to be a stay-at-home wife, which, like, sounds ridiculous, but I mean, some people can be, girl. And if the thing is, if I was a stay-at-home wife, this house would be spick and spucking span, okay? Yeah, I'm sure you would get bored, whatever, but like, there are crevices that need cleaned. Like, I bought that pink stuff to clean underneath my stove. My oven needs fucking cleaned. Every crevice of that bathroom needs fucking cleaned. Like, I could be fucking spick and span in it. I could take my time cooking and make these like pristine meals. Like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, okay? I don't want to be spending my time doing whatever else. I love my job. I love my kids. Like, I don't even have any kids, but there are some of my kids that I'm like, I love you so much. I mean, I love them all, but I have some bonds with some of them that I'm just like, it's just, that's what I want to do. Like, I'm sorry, but a stay-at-home wife that like cooks and cleans every crevice of the house, organizes. I need to organize that area, my cupboard upstairs. I need to organize everything. And when I am working a full-time job, like, I get very overwhelmed, even like, doing something like this, or, I mean, this is a little different because I'm just like sitting on a couch and talking, but like, I want to be able to do what I want to do. Period. And I think it's kind of fucked up, personally, that us in America and society, and I know it's life, that we have to like work 40 hours a week or more some people have like 3 jobs and shit to be able to afford to live. And I had a mom ask me the other week, she made a cake for her son's birthday, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's amazing. And she's like, thank you. I love to bake and I love to design stuff, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, if I could do what I really did, that's what I would do. What would you do? And I was like, that's just so sweet and kind to ask me. What would you do? And I said, well, I want to be like a stay-at-home mom, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I tried to think like, well, what else would I want to do besides that? You know, that was just the first thing that came to mind. I I want to focus on me and my living space and my house and my stuff, you know, like my areas. And sure, I should, however amount of time be more organized and do this. But like when I'm working with the kids, 10-hour days, I come home and I'm exhausted. Like I don't want to go organize the cupboard. I want to lay on the couch and put on a Netflix movie. And that's what Mark always says. That's America for you. That is America. Like, you are out here working a 9 to 5, come home, have a glass of wine, whatever. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about this bottle of wine I have upstairs. Because, so I might be crazy, but if I take like ibuprofen or Tylenol, I will not drink after it because I never realized this, but you were not supposed to, and it can like really affect your stomach, whatever. So yesterday I really wanted to open this bottle of wine I had in the fridge, and I did not because I ended up taking Tylenol because I had like a really bad headache. So obviously I shouldn't be drinking when I have a really bad headache anyways, but I'm like, maybe I'll open that bottle of wine tonight. But no, and I don't do that often. It's just been sitting in my fridge forever. I bought it to like drink with a friend, but it's been calling my name. It's been calling my name. But yeah. So anyways, yeah, you work that job, you come home, you rot on the couch, and more power to you. You should. Like Mark used to always be like, "What are you getting out of watching these shows?" Pure enjoyment. And I'm feeling feelings, emotions, happiness, sadness. I love my shows. There's nothing wrong. But I'm just saying, like, if we all didn't have to work this many hours, imagine what you could be doing with your life. But so then it comes to the point where it's like, what do you do to be able to do what you want? And I don't even want to say, I don't even like, because I am like very thankful and blessed. I have Mark that is working so hard and building his business that I tell him all the time, like, I will always work. Like, yes, we said I will be a stay-at-home mom, but I don't expect that. Like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I do think it will work out because I believe that your business, it's only going up from here, 100%. But I'm never going to be like, oh, when I have a kid, I'm not going to work. Like, no. Like, it depends on the timing of when it happens. But for him, he always would work on stuff on the side, and you have to make time for that. And work hard, work hard, work hard. I mean, look at Avery Woods. Like, she was a nurse for how long, would make nursing content, worked her ass off, and now she has like millions and millions of followers. Maybe like 2 point something million, but whatever. She's made it big, okay? Her podcast, she's like signing some sort of podcast deal. Don't quote me on that, but she said she's signed something for the podcast. So from what I gather from that is maybe she has some sort of deal with a company or something, and that's amazing. And I guess just moral of the story is do what makes you happy. You have to really think. Like, when that mom asked me that, I love her, by the way. She's amazing. She's so nice. She's just always, I love when the parents are like, how are you today? They'll be like, and I think they say, how was, blank, like their child's name. I'm like, oh, there, blah, blah. And they're like, no, how are you? And I'm like, I love you. Like, thank you for asking me that question because I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm just tired, like, so yeah, I guess the moral of this episode and this story is what do you want to do? And think big, think outside the box. If you're at a job that you really don't like and you want to try a different career path or something, just go to an interview. Go check it. And like this for me, and like, yeah, I've worked in childcare for like the past almost 7 years now. So, but I had an interview for some other type of office job. I think it was like a period scheme. Is that the right word? Period scheme? Yeah, whatever. It seemed like a scam. But my point is I still did it. I had the interview, I did the Zoom call, and tried it out. So my advice to you would be like, go on other interviews. You interview them. Yes, but you interview them. Go to several different interviews. Figure out what you think would work for you. Try a new job. You don't like it? Leave, go somewhere else. Like, this world is massive. We could do so many different things. Anyways, I think that's it for this episode, guys. You don't need to hear me talk for much longer than almost 50 minutes. So, next week I will be having Marco on the podcast, and we will be talking to everything from the time we met till now, and I think that'll be so fun. We can also talk about our podcast, AM in the PM, where he proposed to me on, and our journey with that. I think that'd be really cool to talk about that, and I'm so excited. And we haven't recorded together since, I think maybe after he proposed, we did like one other episode. That could be a lie. I think he proposed, and then we were like, done. So we have to go get to Uncle Sam's now to eat some food. So I've never been there. It's a hoagie place. Alright, guys. Well, thank you so much. We are available wherever you get your podcasts. I feel weird saying that. I feel like I'm like Lindsay Chrisley on Coffee Convos, but available on all platforms. And do people like say that so you go listen? But like, when you know that, if you're already here, unless you're like on YouTube or something, I don't know. We're available on all platforms, YouTube, all the things. Yeah, and we'll see you in the next one. I'm excited to have Marco on, and bye, guys.